What does 300,000 euros actually buy in southern France? Today, we're looking at three very different homes across the Occitanie region, from village houses tucked into historic streets to a restored countryside stone home with vineyard views, a pool, and one of my favorite outdoor spaces we've seen so far. Our first home is tucked into a small vineyard village just a few minutes from Pisnas. Listed at 260,000 euros, this detached village home sits in the heart of Nezignan, surrounded by vineyards and everyday village life. At first glance, it feels like a classic French village home, but the layout is actually more flexible than you might expect. Inside, there are 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a large open kitchen and living space, exposed stone walls, and a wood-burning stove that immediately adds warmth and character. One thing that stood out to me here is that the house has 2 separate entrances, which means it could potentially function as 2 independent spaces. For someone relocating, hosting family, or wanting a guest rental setup, that flexibility feels useful. Outside, there's a private courtyard garden, a sunny terrace overlooking vineyards, and a covered veranda with countryside views. And homes in this part of southern France often seem designed around everyday outdoor living. Morning coffee outside, long dinners in the courtyard, windows open most of the day. The village itself also has bakeries, restaurants, shops, and local festivals all within walking distance, so life here feels slower without feeling isolated. The second home takes us to Margon, and this one feels very different. The first thing I noticed is how much additional space is hidden beyond the main living area. You have 2 bedrooms and the primary living spaces, but also an artist's studio, workshops, wine cellar, attic spaces, and additional rooms that bring the total footprint to almost 300 square meters. But the feature I kept coming back to was the roof terrace. It opens directly from the kitchen and overlooks the chateau gardens below. It feels like one of those spaces where you can instantly picture daily life. Slow mornings, outdoor dinners, working outside for a few hours. There's also something interesting about older French homes where spaces often evolve over time. Studios become workspaces, storage becomes something new. Homes feel a little more adaptable. Margon sits among vineyards and countryside landscapes, while beaches remain within easy reach. Our final home moves away from village life entirely. This restored stone mill house sits just outside the medieval village of Siran and immediately feels different. Instead of narrow village streets and courtyards, you're surrounded by countryside, vineyards, mountain views, and nearly 3,000 square meters of land. Inside, there are 4 bedrooms, a bright open living and dining space, a traditional fireplace, and 1 bedroom tucked into its own separate moulin tower, which feels like a very southern France detail. But outside is really where this home changes the experience. There's a south-facing terrace, a pergola dining area, and an 8-meter pool overlooking vineyards with views stretching toward the Pyrenees. This one feels more connected to landscape than village life. A little quieter, a little slower, more space and more privacy. But you're still only a short walk into Siran itself. These were 3 very different homes in southern France, from village courtyards and rooftop terraces to countryside views and vineyard living. And at similar price points, it feels like you're choosing more than a home. You're choosing a rhythm of life. Which one feels most like you, village life or countryside living? Thanks for spending some time here today.